Nestled in the hills of the Waterberg, Mogalakwena is sometimes described as the waiting room between Pretoria and Polokwane, a place where ambitious young professionals arrive to gain experience before moving on to bigger opportunities in the heart of Limpopo. For the district's education team, this means a high staff turnover, and with more than 100,000 learners in sparsely located schools, Mogalakwena is short on resources and big on challenges. So how did it go from being one of the lowest performing districts at the end of 2019 to being the best in the province in less than 3 years? Our story starts in 2020 with Chief Education Specialist Mrs. Manakedi Matsepi and Data-Driven Districts or D Provincial Manager Renai Sekware. Together they embarked on an ambitious plan to take learner performance in Mogalakwena to new heights. Their goals were to build the skill of the curriculum team, to use D to inform school interventions, and to uplift the district's performance. More importantly, they linked these efforts to the district's annual performance goals to keep it all real, measured and manageable. First, the team registered curriculum officials on the D dashboard. They worked closely with EMIS to ensure data was submitted on time and then provided virtual dashboard training to enable officials to use the dashboard properly.
This was a journey that we were not prepared for as curriculum. However, teacher Renai was very, very good. Let me say, we first of all didn't know how to log in on a virtual platform. She had to teach us how to log in on a virtual platform, number one. Number two, we had to use Excel when dealing with the data. We didn't even know how to use Excel. The rest, almost each and every one of us, we didn't know how to do that. Now, Renai designed our training as follows. Number one, the duration of our training sessions, taking into cognizance that technology can be very frustrating. The duration of training sessions will be between 30 to 40 minutes, not more than that. And the content that we focused on, content was chosen in such a way that it aligned with the outcomes of the session. She had well-planned specific learning outcomes that had to be achieved within that 30 minutes in each and every session. And the other thing was that during our training session, we had to do most of the work ourselves. It was learner activity. And the highlight for me of those training sessions was the manner in which teacher would always appreciate even the smallest achievement. Oh, she was so patient. It was so wonderful learning. We were like children.
The next step for the team was to pinpoint problem areas and focus their training efforts. Besides learning how to use the D dashboard, the team ran workshops to build their own use cases for data. They also created guidelines for running and monitoring interventions. After that, it was all about driving the action. The curriculum team set up a community of practice using the dashboard toolset and facilitating weekly learning and feedback sessions. Each official was expected to complete afterwork and apply their learnings to improve school monitoring and support. They also began tracking each intervention and its impact on results. Finally, the team created a content repository for archiving and accessing their plans and successes to help make future interventions even more effective and efficient.
The fact that we were able to access the names of learners on D was a big plus for us. The DCS for geography would go to the learner chart and trace the performance of learners who had performed at 28 and 29%. She would call their schools. Remember, this is during the lockdown. We are not going to schools. She'll go to D, the learner chart, get the filter, get the names of the learners that are performing at 28 and 29%, call their schools and request for learner contacts. Then call the parents of the learners and the learners. Then she will then talk to the parents of this learner to say, this learner is at 28% in this subject. If she or if they put in more effort, they can move even higher. And what this year's also did was that she would look at geography and compare the performance of a learner in geography to their performance in other subjects. So that if geography is going to deprive this learner of an opportunity of getting a bachelor pass, she will do the same with the parents of this learner to say, this learner has got a chance to get the bachelor pass. But if they don't put more effort in geography, they are going to miss that opportunity. We followed this approach in 2021 in all the subjects using the learner chart.
For Mrs. Motsepe, sustained success is all about continuous learning, and this initiative was no different. The team learned several lessons along the way. The first was to institutionalize their practices and connect behavior with benefits. By linking school visits to timely data submissions, officials ensured schools felt the immediate benefit of their action. The second lesson learned was to lead by example. The team discovered that while there is huge potential for school-level adoption of D, curriculum and EMIS usage is a critical catalyst. The third lesson lay in close monitoring and a quick response. The team quickly realized that immediate action, when you see even a 1% shift, helps to keep problems to a minimum and opportunities wide open.
Something that we learned on D was that if 50% of the learners are failing a subject, then when you intervene, it must be at the level of the teacher. And another insight that we learned on D was that even if the pass rate is 100% in the subject, but the average is 35% and below, we have to support the teacher. Then we honed in our teacher development based on that. And using this approach of differentiated support for learners and differentiated support for teachers based on the data that we are getting on D, we were able to move from 67%. We improved by 5% in 2021 and we were at 72%. We continued with the same approach in 2022 and we're able to move by 6% from 72 to 78%, and we were the most improved district in the province, improving by a margin of 6%. And not only were we the most improved district, we're actually the top performing district in the province.
Today, this is a district that embodies its own name. Just as Mogalakwena means fierce crocodile in the Tswana language, so too its education team is fiercely committed to a smarter way of working and thinking, where decisions aren't made on gut feel, but on solid, well-analyzed data. The results of the 3-year journey are evident. With an already strong history of submissions, Mogalakwena has improved on this even further, from an average 95% to today's 99%. The number of reports downloaded from D, as well as the registered and active users, has also grown steadily. All of this translates into one of the team's proudest achievements. Compared to 2020, 40% more learners are now writing matric, and 64% more learners are passing. Mogalakwena's NSC pass rate of over 78% remains well above the provincial average. When it comes to education, Mogalakwena is clearly no longer a mere waiting room for ambitious professionals who have further to go. Rather, it's becoming a centre of excellence where data-driven decision-making is changing learner outcomes for the better. One learner, one classroom, and one district at a time.